The history of computing is defined by devices getting smaller and more powerful, but a series of trends is emerging to change the nature of hardware altogether. With design in the smartphone, tablet and laptop markets increasingly commoditized, why might 2013 be different? The disruption of hardware, how the cloud is changing the basis of competition.
The question is, where do we go from the smartphone next? Or not just smartphones, but tablets and all sorts of mobile devices. And we don't just necessarily use one device anymore. We use a multitude of devices, and it could be, people could own smartphones, tablets, Kindles, laptops and desktops all at the same time. And so there's an additional need there to the hardware that's not just intrinsic to that bit of kit. It's the fact that as people start to build their digital lives over time, and we're kind of very early on in that curve, their kind of digital lives are going to get much bigger than what you'd want to just store on a smartphone. Businesses have benefited greatly from mobile technology. A mobile workforce is much more efficient, much more effective, much more productive. But there's a downside to that as well, and that's a very well reported kind of trend, BYOD, bring your own device. And employees are bringing their own devices to work and accessing very sensitive data which is downloaded onto that device. And that obviously poses a real headache for IT departments. The solution, or one of the best solutions that have been proposed to answer this problem, is not prohibition and stricter controls of employees, but actually using cloud technology and allowing their employees to access the business cloud at any point they want, on any device they want, because there's no download of data to a local device which could cause a security breach. So the enterprise market could benefit greatly from cloud computing, and actually it's cloud computing which is the more interesting development going forward rather than the actual hardware. Cloud services allow you to access or store your content all in one place at one time. So if you want to access it on multiple different devices, it's just there. As long as you've got an internet connection, it's just there. What are the implications of this? Well, there's potential disruption in the hardware market. If these kind of cloud services start to take over a lot of the hardware processes that the current hardware makes. And low price of hardware could potentially be a disruption for those who rely on the revenues they gather from hardware. There's also a lot of opportunities as well. And obviously low-cost hardware means that you can sell larger volumes. It opens up new markets. A very interesting development would be to see how this hardware reaches emerging markets, where sometimes the cost of hardware, especially advanced hardware that we use in this country, is kind of prohibitive. Just thinking about how hardware is developing, we're at a point where hardware is extremely good. And if cloud services come in and support that hardware, then actually the opportunities in the future for hardware become a lot more interesting, because the focus can be on something else rather than producing the next most powerful machine.
You can download your own copy of Tech Trends 2013 by clicking the link below and logging in with either Facebook, LinkedIn or Twitter, or by entering your details.